Noah graduated from vision therapy.
Oh, nice. Is there like a ceremony, or it's just like, hey, you ain't got to do this shit no more?
It's, hey, you don't have to pay $2,000 for another one of these fucking sessions. Yeah, that's,
Oof.
We are the real winners in this situation.
In a world of bad movies, two follically challenged men will stop at nothing to share their opinions of them. Their wives are tired of listening, but are you? This isn't the podcast you deserve, but it's the one you need. Prepare yourself for Bald Guys and Bad Movies.
Welcome back to Bald Guys and Bad Movies, episode 26. So happy to be here. So happy to be here with you guys. Happy to have you back. I am Michael Stella, and with me, as always, is
Troy. I'm here. How are you, my friend?
I'm great, man. I'm really good. Really good. Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah. I'm wonderful. Had a good day. Had a really good day today. How about you? How was your day?
You say that like, wow, I just had that colonoscopy and I'm actually okay.
No. It was a good day. This week, we are talking about Ridley Scott's The Last Duel.
The Last Duel.
The Last Duel.
So, shall I read a synopsis of this before?
Please do, my good sir.
Okay. That accent was like 100% better than what was in the movie, but go.
Oh, man.
Based on the 2004 book, The Last Duel, set in medieval France, the film stars Matt Damon as Jean de Courage, a knight who challenges his former friend, Squire Jacques Legris. How do I say that? Jacques Legris. Legris. To a judicial duel after Jean's wife, Marguerite, accuses Jacques of raping her. The events leading up to the duel divided into three distinct chapters, reflecting the contradictory perspectives of the three main characters. Affleck also stars a supporting role as Count Pierre de Alarcon.
Douchebag. Pierre de Douchebaggy.
So, where to begin? Well, would you recommend this? This is on Hulu. Folks. So.
I will say, I'm not gonna lie. Like, until I got through that, the first chunk was really hard to watch for me.
The Matt Damon
chapter. Like, I was just like, I didn't give a fuck about anyone. I didn't feel like they did a very good job, making me give a crap about any of the characters. And it was rough. I was like, I checked. I was like, how much longer in this? I was like, I've only watched 45 minutes of this movie. What the fuck?
Yeah.
And then I looked at it, I was like, fuck, I got another hour and a half of this shit. Fuck. But I will say, after that part, like, once the next part started, the Adam Driver part, I actually kind of started to get into it. Because, like, I kind of knew the characters by this point. You know what I mean? And so, like I don't know.
Oh, well,
I mean,
let's see how he thinks it played out, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was kind of interested at that point. And then once it got to the wife, like, I was kind of hooked. I wanted to see I really wanted to see how she took it.
Well,
because
she took it. All right.
No, Jesus.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, she took it.
It's a 2.5 hour movie. And like I said, it's told from three different perspectives. So
it's hard to recommend it with so many like really good things out there to watch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I would say, like, if you've watched everything that you can think of to watch, it's put it on. Try and get through that first, like, it sucks. Like, that first hour I found kind of boring.
Yeah.
Like, but once it switched to the second chapter, I was kind of into it. And then, like I said, once we were in the third chapter, I was like, I want to see what the fuck happens. And the duel at the end was fucking badass. Like, it was a pretty badass fucking duel. Like,
I'll say, I think I agree with you. Like, it's not a must watch, You know
and
what I
it's
mean?
not a pile of dog shit.
No,
you know
no,
what
it's
I mean?
not. It's not. It's actually a pretty well made, compelling film, but you got to be in the mood for it. You got to be in the mood for a period piece. You got to be in the mood for a story that ultimately is about rape.
Yeah, and also what I will say though, I kind of feel like Ridley Scott, I don't know. I don't really agree with him. He was talking shit about the reason why his film it didn't do well was because like millennials are just a bunch of fucking snowflakes.
I remember
I don't remember exactly what he said, but he was complaining that like if it wasn't for their shitty attention spans, maybe, you know, they could watch a movie that was long, you know, or you know, all these goddamn superhero movies. That's all people want to see nowadays. And I'm like, not really, bro. I'm like,
I mean,
I was bored that first hour. I'm like, my whole thing is, especially when you're watching something at home and you haven't paid for it. I mean, if I wasn't watching it for this, I probably would have turned it off. So I'll say that, which kind of sucks.
literally, I went through Hulu and Amazon Prime, like, oh, wait, I remember this movie.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you know, I was kind of intrigued, but not enough to see it.
Yeah.
And
Me
not
too.
enough to pay for it, but I knew
yeah.
eventually I would want to see
You know,
it.
Matt Damon, like his look was pretty bad, but fuck, Ben Affleck's look was fucking awful.
Well,
holy shit.
Wait, so to your point, before I forget, the Ridley Scott thing, this came out in 2021. We're coming off the ass end of COVID. People just they don't want to see a period rape movie, dude. Like,
and not only that, you're picking and choosing what you're willing to go and sit in a fucking theater with a bunch of other people and possibly get COVID from.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to go be depressed for 3 hours and then come out with COVID.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, it's a lose-lose situation.
Looking at the history of this film, originally it was going to be written, directed by someone else, and then the rights reverted. Yeah. And then Ridley Scott picked it up, and that's when Matt Damon and Ben Affleck came aboard. They co-wrote the screenplay, which is probably why they're in it. And I think that was to the detriment of the fucking movie.
Oh, yeah. They should not
Adam
have been
Driver.
It could have been a bit... Adam Driver.
Here's the perfect casting. And I was thinking this as I was watching...
Adam Driver and anyone but Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. How about that?
Fucking give me Christian Bale and give me Bond, Daniel Craig.
Maybe. I don't even know who I would actually want.
Or
to tell you the truth.
no names. But I know.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
But I know why they didn't do it, because they got to make their money back. But you know, have Adam Driver be the top name.
Hell yeah.
And he's well known enough. But then have someone, you know, that's known but not super well known. I just kept seeing fucking Matt Damon in that achy breaky fucking hair. That Billy Ray Cyrus
so
bad haircut. And his accent was there an accent? I was like, wait, does he have an accent and everyone else does? And
no, he didn't have an accent. He had a cadence. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He spoke in a cadence of the time, but I just don't think he could do an accent. You know what I mean? So they decided not to do it.
Ben Affleck did fared a little better, but not a lot better. Because I felt like his was going in and out, and it was weird casting, and it was a distraction. Adam Driver, and the what's her name? Because she did a great job.
She was great. She was in fucking Free Guy. I was like, where have I seen this chick?
Yep.
And I was like, oh shit, she's the chick from Free Guy. How fucking funny is that?
Jodie Comer. She was wonderful. Adam Driver was wonderful. Matt Damon and Ben Affleck,
awful.
Yeah, I mean,
and it wasn't even like, I mean, their performances, I guess, were okay, but it's hard to separate it because all you see is Matt Damon and Ben Affleck
with really weird hair and with bad accents.
Yeah, the blonde hair with the fucking little blonde tuft of fucking, you know, beard on Ben Affleck. I was like, what the fuck is happening here?
That said, I did fucking laugh a few times with this character. When Adam Driver showed up in the middle of his orgy.
Oh, yeah.
It was like, he's suing me. He's like, interrupted me for this, oh, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I'm giving you his castle now. Drop your pants and get in here.
Yeah, exactly.
I did quite enjoy their
back and forth.
Their
their
back
sort of
and forth,
relationship.
their
Yeah.
camaraderie. The strongest point of the film is the different perspectives. I didn't find the Matt Damon part boring. I didn't know going in this movie that they were going to do chapters as different perspectives.
Me neither.
I know. So when the title came up, Chapter 1, the account of whatever his name, Matt Damon's character, I'm like,
Right.
oh, they're going to do this. This is kind of interesting, right?
And I actually liked that they did that.
And the battles were fucking badass.
Yeah.
That one where he wrapped the chainmail around his fucking fist and
Oh yeah,
started
bash the fool.
beating the
face
shit
with it.
out of the guy, and then took the spear and like pulled his head down. There's some good violence in it.
There were some really good battles. Like all the battles were really good.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed that. And like I said, that duel at the end was fucking dope. I didn't like the fact that they were very, very clear that Matt Damon like got his fucking what was it? His fucking femoral artery cut when he gets stabbed in the leg, and like you just see it gushing blood, and you're like, well, he's dead,
Right.
And then he lives. I was like, there was enough blood to where, I mean, personally, I've seen enough people dismembered in films to know that if you get stabbed in that particular place and it bleeds like a fucking fire hydrant, you are dead in about 15 seconds.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Hannibal Lecter in Hannibal. He cut that one kid down there, and
Yeah. I was like, damn, he's going to lose? That's fucked up. And then he's fine. Like, I was like, okay, well, then he's going to kill him. He's going to win, and then
But
he's going
die.
to fall over dead.
yeah,
Didn't happen. I was
Right.
like, what the fuck?
and he got on the horse with like
Yeah.
minimum discomfort.
Give me a fucking break, dude.
Uh,
I was like, give me a fucking break. That shit annoyed me. I was happy she lived, but at the same time, it was just fucking stupid.
dude, but I didn't know. Did you know the outcome of the duel? Did you know going in? Like,
No.
I thought for sure she's gonna fucking burn, dude.
Well, going into the duel, though, I was like, there's no way Matt Damon's character can lose. This motherfucker's been, like, at home, like, fucking, Adam Driver's character's been at home, fucking, having orgies with fucking Ben Affleck's character, and, you know, stealing fool's land, and this dude's been off
He's a
just,
soft
like,
marshmallow.
butchering motherfuckers for years. I'm like, this fool's dead. This fool doesn't even have a chance.
I totally get where you're coming from, but I thought the movie it was less about him losing.
Yeah,
was
no,
more
totally.
about her telling the truth, but still she's gonna burn because her husband's ego was bruised, and he put her life on the line without her knowing that was actually gonna happen. I just for sure it was gonna end with that dark ending, and I'm happy it didn't.
Yeah, I actually thought that it was going to as well once it got to that point, because it just kind of seemed like it. Well, like I said, once he got stabbed in the leg, I was like, I was like, he has to die. He has to fucking die. And then he didn't, and I was like, yeah.
When Adam Driver, like before Matt Damon was about to kill him, he was like, I swear on my soul I didn't rape her.
There was no rape. Well, he didn't say that. He said there was no rape.
Right.
There was no rape. He wasn't, and I thought it was very clear that he wasn't denying that they had sex, but he wanted him to know that
in his mind,
he never raped her.
In his mind, and in his episode when the rape occurs, which let me finish my point. The point what I was trying to say or going to ask you, I took it as Matt Damon actually believed him, but I gotta fucking kill you anyway, because their embrace, him and his wife, was awkward as fuck. Like they both had a look, like and
right.
And the way I took it is like, okay, he is not quite sure that she was raped, but he gets all the clout and the glory and maybe restores some of his pride and his name, and he's being hailed a hero. So maybe I misread.
No, I kind of felt that too, but at the same time, he won, and I don't know if he is, I mean, this is like the 1300s. People are fucking stupid. You know what I mean? Like, there's no way. It's like, a child cannot be conceived without the little death at the end. That's just science. You know what I mean? These people are fucking dumb. They're fucking stupid. He believes that, because he won, he was correct. That there was the gods have said that there was a rape because he won the battle.
For those listening, little death was their terminology for orgasm.
What did he say? It was like, he's like, and one cannot conceive from a rape. It's just science.
Right. Yeah.
I was like, oh man. And I wonder if that shit was added in just because of all the fucking stupid ass Republicans out there, in different fucking states who say oh, a woman, a woman will just, her uterus will just shut down and block out any, you know what I mean? If it's an actual rape,
she can will the semen out. She's fucking Professor X. Her vagina's got a laser beam.
Dude.
No, I'm pretty sure that's probably truthful for the period.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's what they thought.
Absolutely.
Fucking, this isn't too far away from burning motherfuckers for being witches and.
Well, yeah, I know, but I'm just saying it's not very far from motherfucking Republicans in the South nowadays. You know what I mean?
So, Stella, you have a back pain? Well, here's a jar of leeches.
Yeah, let me bleed. Hang on, let me bleed you. Oh, that's the wrong area. I'll bleed you down here.
Now, it may seem curious that you put it on your ball sack, but that is where the pain originates.
Well, you did say they sucked, sir, right? They sucked. They sucked stuff out. Of course, I put it on my ball sack.
Prescription: fork in the eye. Little death. I kill myself every night. If that's the case.
Gross, dude.
I'm a serial killer, Mike.
Please cut that out. I don't want. My mom don't want to hear you talking about that. She's one of our avid listeners.
And God bless her for it.
God bless you.
This may be
my
little quips like that may be why Mom listens.
And
how disturbing would that be?
Moving on.
He's got such a filthy mouth, your buddy Troy. Mm.
Oh Jesus, please, God.
So let's get to let's circle back to the perspectives. And it was cool because there were little moments that, I wasn't analyzing, but moments that happened in Matt Damon's story, and then you see it from a different perspective.
Sure.
And it's the same moment, but played differently. But the event itself, let's face it, her version is probably the real version.
Well, I mean, you did notice that, right?
What?
Well, they said the truth according to Matt Damon's character, whatever his name is, the truth according to Adam Driver's character, whatever his name is, the truth according to the Marguerite, whatever her name is, and then all the text disappears except for the words "the truth." You didn't notice that?
For her part?
Yeah.
No, I didn't notice that at all.
Yeah, in her part, it's the only one that did it. All the words disappear except for the truth, and the words "the truth" persist for about 5 to 6 seconds. And I was like, I see that. It's a little, on the nose, but it's okay.
Little details like when she was running from him in the castle, she gently took her shoes off.
In his
version, right? And in his mind, this is just a game.
Oh, she wants the tea, yo. Yeah, she just took her shoes off. She's ready for it.
And she ran into the bedroom, and while she resisted in his vision, there was resistance, but it wasn't screaming or anything like that. Yeah. But of course, in reality, she kicked her shoes fell off, or he grabbed one. It was a rape. He was chasing it. But do you think his character? Do you feel like his character?
He actually thought it wasn't.
Right. Is that what you believe?
I mean,
That's because that was my takeaway. Like,
look, if these are supposed to be strictly subjective viewpoints, right?
Yeah.
Then yeah, I do think that he didn't think it was a rape.
Right.
But also, he's a person of the time. So, you know what it made me think of, to tell you the truth? It's funny you ask me that. Have you seen, I think it's Bill Burr. Have you seen that the stand-up comedian? You know Bill Burr, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, have you seen his bit when he talks about no means no? No means no. No means no. And he's like, I'm sorry, but no does not always mean no. There's no, and then there's no. You know what I mean? Like, don't do that. No.
Right.
Like, and it's funny because I always thought that bit was really funny, right? I always thought that he kind of had a point. But then I watched this movie, and I'm like, now you're putting your own subjective spin on it. You know what I mean?
That's interesting. The movie that's a major revelation or impact.
Yeah, it actually was. It made me think to myself, like, nah, dude, no means fucking no.
Right.
Like, you know,
just because. How about this? Let's just play it safe in this day and age. No, whatever inflection is said with, if it's said with a wink or a smile, let's just take it for no.
Yeah. And it really made me think of that bit. And I was like, dude, nah, man. Like, no means fucking no. Like, it really does. Like,
right.
You know what? No matter how cute you think she's being, like, nah, man. Like, if she says no, it means no. And right. I wouldn't want to do something horrible, you know, because I misunderstood what someone was saying or the way someone was saying it. And then the flip side of that is, if I'm going to be completely selfish in that situation, I don't want to get fucking thrown in jail for misunderstanding. So, you know what I mean? Someone's inflection.
Self-preservation is a fine hook you hang your hat on.
Exactly. I mean, personally, I'm more along the lines of, I wouldn't want to do something awful. Right? That's my first thought. But at the same time, and I wouldn't want to hurt someone. But at the same time, like, if you're just a completely selfish asshole motherfucker, like, do you want to go to jail? And then you're going to be the one saying no. You know what I mean?
There's a podcast I listen to called Strictly Stalking. All right? And
Jesus.
It's stories, women, and some men.
All makes sense. It all makes sense.
What, me? No, but I
creepy ass motherfucker.
No. I swear, every man should listen to this fucking podcast, because it made me think of that no means no. And then, but because you don't know where the woman's coming from mentally.
Right.
What she's been through, and her not aggressively pushing you off, you don't know if you're triggering some kind of childhood trauma thing. She freezes up, and then you take as a sign of, okay, she's all about it, right? There's so much shit going on that it's better to just play it safe and make sure you don't hurt anyone, right? I mean, beyond self-preservation, which is a good reason not to, you don't want someone to have mourning regret.
Yeah.
It could be a delayed response. Like, you know, I really meant no. And now you've got a situation where the signal she sent, like you said, it's the Bill Burr thing.
You thought she was being cute. You thought she was being coy and playful. But nah, she didn't want to have sex with you, bro. And now you're a rapist.
Another woman you've dated, she might have been coy and playful. That was part of the game. You know, not every game is played the same, right? So it's better to not even play that game.
Better to miss out on one than do be in a fucked up situation on another. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I don't know, man. It just it really made me think about that. I was like, I used to always think that was the funniest little bit, and I was like, yeah, he kind of has, like, I was like, this motherfucker has a point, right? And then I saw this movie, and I was like, not really. Like, he doesn't really have a point anymore. Like, that's actually kind of fucked up.
The young mind, the young male mind is so fucking driven by testosterone and your penis. And I'm not making an excuse, but it clouds judgment, which is another reason why you should just play it safe and not even go there, because you're not even functioning with a clear mind.
Well, and that was my whole thing. I was always, I probably missed out on a lot of, women, because before anyone knew what being Me Too'd was, like, I was always afraid of that. I was always afraid of having sex with someone and then being accused of something afterwards. It always scared me. That and STDs used to scare the shit out of me. And so I was very nervous about stuff, and I was nervous to talk to girls anyways. Then when that shit would get in my head, you know what I mean? Like, and they didn't seem like super into it, then I was just like really kind of like standoffish, because I didn't want to feel like I was forcing myself on anyone, and then having them come back at me later and say I did something fucking wrong when I never fucking meant to. You know what I mean?
Well, what saved me, and I'm not saying, hey, I potentially have ravaged a lot of women, but I mean, my whole life, I never know when someone's digging me.
Yeah, no shit. Welcome to the club.
I can't tell you how many times a woman has told me, yes, I like you, stupid. Like, oh, you talking about me? Oh, I didn't know it. Like, I was very like, no, there's no way she wants me.
Yeah.
So my mind's not even there. And it's always been a surprise when it's like, oh, really? Okay. Like, so there's no gray area.
Yeah.
Like that whole game, I probably couldn't even play that game.
No.
Because I'll be so in my head like, what the fuck? Like, she doesn't even want me. What am I doing here? I'm like, come here, I'm gonna get you. Like, get the fuck out of here, motherfucker.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that shit just doesn't even compute for me. You know what I mean? Like, it makes no sense to me. It's just, some guys I just feel like are super self-involved and just think so highly of themselves and just have complete disconnect with reality.
Like Adam Driver.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, literally.
I mean, in real life, I mean, no one would turn Adam Driver down, right? But I mean,
well, in real life, if he was just a regular Joe, I
Right.
think I asked before, is he handsome? I mean, he's built, he's muscular, but facially, you can't tell me that if he wasn't Adam Driver and this super celebrity.
I don't know, man. I mean, look at what's his face, the fucking funny guy who dates all the hottest fucking women in the world.
Pete Davidson.
Pete Davidson. Like I don't know, man. Like,
yeah, what?
he's not a superstar. He's just a really funny guy. Like, but he's a comedian.
He's still a celebrity.
He's a celebrity, but I feel like he didn't become the big celebrity. Like, his celebrity is almost built on the fact that he was able to get these super fucking hot women, and no one can figure out why, except for the fact that he's really tall and he's funny as absolute shit.
Well, apparently he's a tripod.
Oh yeah,
that's what Ariana Grande implied in a tweet.
Jesus,
it's a shame I know this information. By the way, I don't seek it out.
Yeah,
it's just this garbage that goes through my news feed. So yeah, like it was interesting to see the different perspectives. Ben Affleck. let's touch on that fucking moppet, that hair,
Jesus,
that Eminem hair.
What was that? Who thought
Slim Shady?
Who thought it was a good idea? Like, come on, man. Like,
let's have Ben Affleck, who's
blonde,
who's tall, and make him look as weird as fucking
possible.
Yeah.
Weird as fucking possible.
I mean, I'm sure it's period accurate, but You made a choice there,
Who
my
gives
friend.
a fuck if it's period accurate?
And
Give me a fucking break.
the fact
Who
that
cares?
Matt Damon's achy breaky hair actually enhanced his character, because he did seem like a lout, a brute, right? And I kind of felt in his first story, I kind of felt sorry for the guy. Obviously, it's for his perspective, so he's the hero, right, of this story. Even down to when he finds out about the rape, he's very gentle with her, whereas in reality, he nearly chokes her and then forces her to fucking have sex.
Yeah.
So he will not be the last man
To have known you.
Like, ugh, men are horrible.
I thought it was funny how even in their particular, each of everyone's particular story, there were still moments of like them being assholes. Like I was like, dude, Matt Damon was still kind of like, yeah, he was nicer to her in his story, but he was still like a fucking buffoon and had no idea how to deal with things. You know what I mean? When he was do anything. Like he had no idea how to politic and like get stuff, you know what I mean? How to communicate with people or any of that shit. He was still just a fucking buffoon. And then also in Adam Driver's story, I felt like there were times I was like, holy shit, he's a fucking asshole too. Like his own story is what shows that he was basically a fucking mob enforcer and just going on his, making his collections and like busting people's kneecaps when they weren't fucking paying up and shit.
Well, or watching his minions do it.
Yeah,
well,
I mean,
but it comes down to the weapons. Driver's weapon was his tongue, no pun intended, and Damon was a fucking axe.
Yeah,
their approach to problems was that right? Like Matt Damon was very blunt, which is why I found it fascinating, and I kind of felt for the guy because he felt to me like a working man.
Yeah.
Like, Joe Blow.
Why do I have to debase myself and learn how to speak the way that they speak? You know what I mean? Why can't I just go about my business and be me? Like, you know what I mean? That should be enough.
And the fact that war is work.
Yeah.
Like he's trying to get money. He needs money. So he's going off for another campaign. And he's just earning his keep, basically. Yep. It's like it's a job. Whereas Adam Driver is very book smart, well-read. Right. Verbal gymnastics would be the way to describe his character. And it opens up doors for him. Absolutely. It opens up bigger and better doors. Matt Damon's working hard. It's not saying his work is of value, but it's like modern day.
Yeah.
Like the guy working a construction site may put in an honest day's work, but he'll never probably get the amount of money that a fucking politician would get, right?
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
Just
absolutely.
By, they got the mic skills and their hands aren't calloused. But they're earning way more. And it's not
absolutely.
And the grand scheme of things is not fair, but that's just the way it's always been.
Yeah.
It's just so that I sympathize with this character. Until the third act, when how he really was, and he was just a fucking caveman.
And I will say, I did like aside from the shitty parts of her story, I really liked her story because I liked when he like left on that last campaign. When she ended up, the campaign he went on before. Like, he came back and then she ended up getting raped. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And she's like having to manage the estate and everything. And she's starting to get all the affairs in order. And, she's really good at it. And that was, I found that kind of heartwarming to watch. And it was nice. It was a nice, I don't know, change of pace from the absolute.
The bleak.
Yeah, bleak
her
shit.
Her being a fucking prisoner in that castle.
Yeah.
And also, once you. With the end crawl, you find out what happens. He goes, he dies. She never remarries.
Yep.
And she prospers. So you get that little montage is probably how it was for her the rest of her life.
Yeah.
Like because she's very capable. She can run the castle, and she's very smart about logistical things, and knows how to talk to her servants or serfs or whatever. So it was nice. Like at the end, and I didn't think about it till right now. Actually, you bringing it up, like that's her happily ever after, right?
Yeah.
Like she
enjoyed that work
without a man.
Yeah.
Like she probably had many lovers come in, but
yeah,
like, fuck you, I'm not getting married again.
Oh, maybe. Who knows? Maybe she didn't want to have anything to do with it.
And then the scene with Matt Damon's mom in the third telling, the actual.
What a bitch, dude.
But she's a bitch. But her line or whatever. Well, we've all been raped. You don't think I was a young girl once, and you just get on with it. And she was like, I feel sorry for you. Like, the price you've paid to get on with it or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's just, it sucks, man. Men suck, Mike. I mean, they really do. I say it in my household a lot, and hopefully it'll empower my daughter, but women should just take over. And I'm not saying that things would be much better, because there's petty
Problem
women.
is the women who would take over are just as bad
right,
as the
that's
men
where
who are in power.
That's where
I mean?
I'm going with it. Like, you swap the gender, you still have assholes.
Exactly.
You still have power corrupts. But it'd be a nice change of pace. Let's just try something different and see what happens.
I agree with that.
We could be proved right, and likely we will be, but a new kind of bad.
Right.
Awful. Now with lemon scent.
Let me ask you this question, Troy. Whose kid was it?
Oh. Well, the kid was blonde. Not that means much.
So in the movie, I mean, hopefully you've seen it, and hopefully you're not listening to this having not seen the movie. But like I said earlier, she gets pregnant around the time of the rape. Right. Now, her husband has just come home from war. So she probably had sex with him when he came back. He had sex with her right after he got back, learning about the rape. And so but because of the rape, there is a question of paternity of the father. Who do you think the father is? I mean, like you said, the kid's blonde. So that's a good thing.
Yeah.
I thought to myself, thank God the kid's blonde, and it doesn't matter who the father is. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
well...
if the kid came out looking like fucking Jon Snow, you know what I mean? Like, you'd be like, well, that's a driver baby. You know what I mean? Like, there's no way that's Matt Damon's baby, considering how blonde he is and how very blonde she is.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Since you brought it up, I mean, the fact she was trying to get pregnant and couldn't, and she's raped by this new guy, because
that's what I was thinking.
That's witchcraft. Of course his seed is potent, but for all we know, he's shooting blanks, right? And
that's
her
what
fault. That's what everyone's thinking, but
and that's why I thought to myself, it's probably Adam Driver's, most likely. I mean, like you said, it's probably Matt Damon is infertile. You know what I mean? Like, he's completely. He can't have kids because he hasn't been able to give her a child in the 5 years that they've been married. And he comes along, they have sex once, and he's married, and she's pregnant, right? So that's why, and so I assumed it was probably Adam Driver's, which is why I was so happy that when they show the little kid at the very end of the movie playing and stuff, he's very much blonde. Mm-hmm. Because I was like, at least they can be like, it must be Matt Damon's because it's blonde and doesn't have the black hair of Legree.
Well,
you know what I mean?
She has, I think it ends on her face. There's a look, it's very subtle, where she's smiling at the kid, but the smile slowly kind of goes away. It doesn't become a frown.
Oh, really? I didn't even notice that.
I mean, maybe it's me, but I felt there's a little bit of melancholy there, and it could be because of everything.
It could be.
It could be what we're just talking about right now. She doesn't really know, or just oh yeah, she has a kid, but is it really a happy ending? That she's still stuck in a marriage with this asshole, whatever. So anyway, I mean, I'm glad it didn't, like you said. I'm glad it wasn't like Black. It wasn't like Snape Jr. or anything, right? Like leave it vague, and and not just vague, but a more hopeful that it probably was their kid or whatever. Because if he had black hair, the dad might have fucking slaughtered them both.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's not even that it probably is. I mean, it's not like, that it could be Matt Damon's kid. It's more along the lines of, thank God it doesn't matter, right? Because it looks like Matt Damon. It could be Matt Damon's kid.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
I know.
It's probably a good thing.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
that motherfucker, and that's why they had a little conversation before he killed him. I feel like he kind of believed him, like that there wasn't a rape.
Totally, I did too. But then he stabbed the fucking shit right into his mouth. I was like, dude, the way he did it, he like bent him over and put his knee behind his head. And just like, I was like, oh, fuck you,
deep-throated
you
that
fucking
bitch.
raping ass, yeah.
This movie has some good fucking violence, dude.
It was yeah.
And,
Definitely some good fighting.
And then at the end, his body, like, I guess he's just fucking trash at that point. And
well, like they said, whoever was found guilty would be, strung up and hung from the gallows,
right? And
regardless of if he's alive
drugged
or
behind
not.
A horse. That was a good Adam Driver dummy.
Yeah,
it was really, really nicely realistic. Like, okay,
totally. Totally.
Let's talk about Godfrey for a second.
About who?
The Godfrey, the king, the little boy king, the giggling idiot. Is it a rule that almost every fucking period movie, has a shitty asshole, pompous young lad as a king? Like,
I think so, man. I mean, that's the whole point, is that kings are, born and not
earned.
Chosen.
Right. Like, ugh.
It's probably very often that there are young, fucking stupid ass bitchy kings who've been raised just like Joffrey to, think that they're the end all be all, chosen by God, fucking, king of their country, can do whatever they fucking want. And yeah, he was so just like, ugh.
He was played almost like a simpleton.
Yeah.
It's like a hair away from drooling.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
And then we can't not talk about Ben Affleck's gold shoes.
What do you think, the gold or the sandal? The gold. Always the gold. Come on now.
Oh. It was a powerful movie.
This is probably the most deep, profound kind of episode we've ever had. You know what I mean? Like this movie is really what kind of forced us to talk about it.
Oh, you mean the subject matter?
Yeah, the subject matter is really, really heavy.
It's hard to yuck over rape.
Yeah,
and you shouldn't, right? I mean, you twist my arm, I could maybe find a way, but
yeah,
should I?
Definitely not.
Yeah. Instead of asking
resist that urge, Troy.
If you could, you should have asked if you should. What's the Jeff Goldblum line? So what do you want to rate this?
I would rate this 3 gushing, not actually femoral artery wounds out of 5.
Okay, I'll give it a 3.5. It could have gotten a 4, maybe even a 5 if Ben Affleck and fucking Matt Damon were in it.
They were so bad. They were just horrible casting idea.
And I'm not saying your boredom, that it would have solved the boredom part, but you would have gotten a different energy level and performance And that was a huge impediment the whole fucking time. You know what it felt like? It felt like when Matt Damon was in the Thor movie playing Loki. It felt like he was cosplaying an actual real movie. But I'll give it 3.5. 3.5. Ben Affleck, Eminem bowl cuts, blonde bowl cuts.
Blonde beard, blonde chin stubble out of 5. What was that shit? That was his hair was bad, but and the way his hair was just like brushed down, it was just so bad.
And their
fucking little beard tuft was fucking awful.
They co-wrote this script, and I think they produced it, so they signed off on this, right? Like, it wasn't like he was forced. At some point, he was in the mirror like, that's the look. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. This is the guy. This is the guy I had in my mind when I wrote this.
What if they literally did it just to fuck with Ridley Scott? Like they were like,
and they didn't have a heart to tell him.
They came out with it. They looked at each other and they were like, Ridley Scott's gonna fucking love this bullshit. Like, let's go show it to him. We're gonna do the whole movie like this. It's gonna be fucking hilarious. You know what I mean?
No, I think it'd be funnier if they did it as a joke for the day, but really loved it, and no one had the heart to tell them like, "Oh no, that was a joke. We didn't really mean it."
Well, you know what it reminded me of? There was an episode of The X-Files. You watched The X-Files, right?
I've watched some of The X-Files.
Yeah, because you were in high school probably when it started and
that's
too busy with
girls. No, I was not.
You weren't?
What, in high school? No,
Weren't
dude.
you?
I was getting no play. I've talked about this.
No, but I'm like, not getting girls in high school, but I'm just saying, like, when you're in high school, you're busy doing other stuff. That's probably when I stopped watching X-Files.
Because I think it came on.
Actually, that's not true.
It was like the 9:00 slot, and in high school, I was watching Quantum Leap.
Oh,
can't watch.
Then it was
Can't watch X-Files when I gotta watch Quantum Leap. Come on now.
Yeah, Quantum Leap and X-Files weren't on at the same time, were they?
I don't know. I'm joking.
Quantum Leap was old.
I'm making a joke about how lame of my fucking life was in high school.
Oh.
But anyway,
got it.
Yeah.